The date is May 7th, 2019. The time is 14:52 hours. Present in the Internal Affairs Division office is Sergeant John Morris, his representative Mick Boyd, Sergeant Ryan Bullard, and myself, Sergeant Don Schumacher. The purpose of this meeting is to conduct an interview of Sergeant John Morris, who is employed with the Sacramento Police Department in the capacity of police sergeant. This is an administrative investigation on the charges of neglect of duty and improper tactics involving officers Jared Robinette and Terrence Merkdahl. This is an administrative investigation only on these charges. Do you understand that?
Yes.
However, since the allegations indicate that a crime may have been committed, I'm advising you that 1. You have the right to remain silent. 2. Anything you say may be used against you in court. 3. You have the right to the presence of an attorney before and during any questioning. 4. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you free of charge before any questioning if you desire. Do you understand each of these rights that I've explained to you?
Yes.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us now?
No, I don't.
Although you have the right to remain silent and to not incriminate yourself, your silence can be deemed insubordination and result in administrative discipline. Do you understand that based upon the authority vested in me by the Chief of Police, I'm ordering you to answer all of our questions?
Yes, I do.
Any statement made under compulsion of a threat of discipline cannot be used against you in a later criminal proceeding. However, if you do not answer our questions truthfully and fully, a charge of insubordination may be imposed, which could result in discipline up to and including termination. Do you understand this is only an administrative investigation?
Yes.
Do you understand the allegations?
Yes.
Do you understand that I'm ordering you to answer our questions, and if you do not answer them truthfully and fully, it could result in disciplinary action up to and including termination?
Yes, I do.
For the record, please state and spell your name.
John Morris, JOHN-MORRIS.
Did you graduate from the Sacramento Police Academy?
Yes, I did.
When did you graduate?
March 97.
Do you have any prior law enforcement experience?
No.
What is your current assignment and shift?
South Patrol shift.
How long have you been in your current assignment?
I think working on 3 years, so 2.5 years.
What was your assignment and shift in March of 2018?
South Patrol shift, sergeant.
Have you had any kind of specialized training or assignment with the Sacramento Police Department?
Had regular update training and the tactical medicine training. Do I go through all of them, or
Just, anything that comes to mind. We don't have to go down the entire list or anything.
field training officer training? I was a field training officer for several years, and trained multiple officers.
All right. Prior to this interview, I provided you and your representative with your body-worn camera footage from March 18th, 2018 relating to CAD call 18-82449, your written observations from SPD case 18-82449, a CAD call printout for call 18-82449, an audio recording for radio traffic relating to SPD CAD 18-82449, a transcription of the radio traffic relating to SPD CAD call 18-82449, an aerial photo of 29th Street from SPD case 18-82449, a copy of your post-training record, a 2018 SPD CPT First Aid CPR Update course outline, a 3-page law enforcement tactical lifesaver course outline, a 90-page Tactical Lifesaver Course Student Guide Booklet, General Order 580.12, revision date 10/9 of 2012, General Order 522.02, revision date 5/16 of 2017, and General Order 525.07, revision date 4/26/2017. Have you had a chance to review these?
Yes.
For the record, these general orders were the current policies in place on March 18, 2018. We are here to conduct an administrative interview with you regarding SPD case 18-82449, an officer-involved shooting which you were involved with on March 18, 2018. Prior to our interview here, have you read or reviewed any materials pertaining to this case, 18-A2449, such as reports, press releases, statements, videos, etc.?
I believe I reviewed, not recently, but I have looked at the YouTube videos that were released of the incident, particularly the helicopter video, and then just things that were brought up throughout the year on updates on the case. But
Anything as far as like from the Sac PD Transparency website where we release redacted reports or CAD calls or anything like that that you've reviewed, or the press releases from the police department or anything like that that you can...
not that I remember.
Have you received training in emergency first aid and CPR?
Yes.
And specifically, what kind of training and when was it?
So it was. Let's see.
Do you see one in there for November 3rd of 2016? SPD first aid CPR update.
Yes. First aid, CPR. I believe I took a tactical and lifesaver course too. I don't see that on there.
I was going to ask you about that one in a second here.
There it is. Right
Does-
there. It's,
Does that look accurate though for the CPR
yes.
first aid?
Yeah, the
November
tactical
3rd.
lifesaver course 4616.
And how many
Basically,
hours? I'm sorry, go ahead.
These courses just went over first aid and CPR and basics of identifying injuries and how to treat them, and how to perform CPR and life-saving techniques.
Okay. And the tactical lifesaver course, that was April 6, 2016, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And that was an 8-hour course.
yes.
Can you describe the tactical lifesaver course as to the material it covers, practicals you participate in, or lessons plan?
Yeah.
I have it. Are you able to describe that tactical lifesaver course just as the material it covers, practicals you participate in, lesson plans, anything like that?
Yeah, for basically it's how to treat life-threatening injuries, bullet wounds, stab wounds, how to perform CPR, I don't know what else. It's basically just for in the field care of anybody that's injured, serious wounds. So to get somebody stop bleeding quickly, get them breathing quickly, get them. So an ambulance could get in and get to them as fast as possible too.
Kind of stabilize them until the
Yeah.
actual medic unit can get there.
Exactly. Stabilize them. yeah.
Have you attended department training that talks about cover and concealment? Not referring to anything specifically in there, but as far as cover and concealment, departmental training, your experience, can you explain
Yeah.
what that is?
Yes. So concealment is you're hiding yourself behind something, but it's not necessarily going to protect you from any kind of bullets. And cover is you're going to be concealed behind something that may have protection against bullets, like an engine block or something like that.
As a police officer, especially working patrol, how often would you utilize cover and concealment?
Use it often. If you're approaching a house that maybe an armed subject was in, you would approach and consider, if you use trees or cars as cover, or if merely there's just bushes out front that's only going to conceal you. So it's on a fairly regular basis you're thinking about that.
Have you been trained the concepts of contact arrest teams?
Yes.
Can you explain what that is?
It's basically having a plan put in place where you have officers, you have less lethal, possibly some kind of shield. You have one officer that's going to be verbal commands, and you would, once you have a suspect or engage the suspect, you would have a plan on how you're going to engage the suspect.
Have you been trained on the concepts of cover officers?
Yes, I have.
And can you explain what that is?
That's so if you have officers that are going to move from one spot to another, you would have an officer to cover and make sure that area is going to be safe for that officer to move. Another is just you wouldn't go into something by yourself, knowing there might be a potential for danger. You'd have another officer that's going to cover you and help you out.
Are the use of contact teams and cover officers a common practice in police work?
Yes, it is.
And that's for officer safety reasons?
Yes.
And have you received training relating to tactics and strategies for armed subjects?
Yes, I have.
Have you utilized those tactics and strategies throughout your career?
Yes, I have.
Is distance a key factor for officer safety?
Yes, it is.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, you have time to react to any suspect's movement. The more distance you have, the more time you have to react. If the suspect's going to shoot at you, it's less likely you're going to be shot at. Less likely that they'll be able to zero in on the target if you're further away. Just,
Have you been involved in any officer-involved shootings other than this case?
no, I don't think I have. Can't remember any.
Would you agree that all SAC PD officers have been trained and have some of the experience in the areas that we've talked about here, especially with cover concealment, contact teams?
Yes, I do.
Referring to your observations written by you in relation to this case, did you review any video, whether body-worn camera or any other kind of video, prior to writing and submitting your observations?
Don't recall reviewing the video prior to writing observations.
To your knowledge, was all of your equipment, including your body-worn camera, functioning properly at the beginning of your shift on March 18, 2018?
Yes.
Were you on duty March 18, 2018 at 9:27 p.m.?
March 19th?
March
18th.
18, 2018, 9:27 p.m.
Yes.
Was your identifier 3SAM5?
Yes, it was.
And you were a mid-watch patrol supervisor at this time, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall what your hours were for this shift?
14:30 hours to 00:30 hours.
On March 18, 2018, 21:27 hours, did you respond to a call for service in the area of 29th Street regarding a car clout or car burglary that resulted in an officer-involved shooting?
Yes, I did.
And per the CAD call 18-A2449, it indicates you are en route and on scene time as 21:41 hours. Is that correct?
Let me see here. I think my observations I wrote, I was on scene at 21:30 hours. So I don't know if maybe dispatch marked me on scene at 21:41 and I was on scene at 21:30. Because once I arrived on scene, I may not have marked not on scene as soon as I got there, just because the nature of the incident was such as an emergency. I needed to get out of the car quick and go.
The CAD call printout itself, though, indicates that you're en route and on scene is 21:41. Is that correct? Okay, we'll touch on that just a little bit later. Can you summarize the information about the call that you knew at the time that you were responding?
Originally, a call came out as a car clout in progress. Subject broke out a window of a vehicle, and air unit was en route, and Officer Mercadal and Officer Robert were en route. As they were arriving on scene, a air unit broadcast that a suspect broke out back slider of a house and was jumping a fence, and that the officers were attempting to catch up to him. Shortly after that, air unit advised that shots were fired. And at the time, I was on the phone with somebody getting an update, and said, "Gotta go." And started route code 3 to the goal.
Were you driving a fully marked SPD patrol vehicle and in full SPD uniform?
Yes, I was.
And you responded code 3 to the location of the shooting, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And where did you respond from, if you can recall?
It was 24th Street Courtyard, 24th Street and Fernandez area.
An SSD air unit star responded to this call as well, correct?
Yes.
What are some concerns or thoughts during your response to this call as a field supervisor?
First concern is that the officers are okay. Second concern is I need to, if the suspect's okay, I need to fire en route. I heard air call for fire, so I didn't have to call for it myself. And so I knew that that was going to happen. And so I wanted to just get there quickly and see what kind of help I could give once I got there.
Do you recall what information had been broadcast regarding the suspect, if any weapons were involved or any injuries or something, or anything like that?
At one point, when the air unit advised that he broke out a back slider, they said he had some kind of pole or something in his hand. Other than that, I don't recall any other weapons.
And it was determined based on radio updates from STAR that the location that the officer involved shooting occurred at was in the backyard of 29th Street, correct?
Yes.
You can refer to your body-worn camera footage here. The date and time stamp labeled as, well, this one, 2018-03-19, TTOM 042638Z, zebra for Zulu time. Does this appear to be your body camera footage?
Yes.
I'm going to fast forward.
Coming out, right there. Right at the intersection of Ellenwood and 29th Street. And we caught the officer, okay. Can't do something, still not moved. 375, head this way, use the body phone before we continue to
0429 and 40 seconds here. During your response, Officer Robinette, 1 Charles 54, sounds like he verbalizes over the radio to you requesting to bring a body bunker to their location to detain the suspect. Does that sound accurate?
Yes.
What is a body bunker?
It's a handheld shield that will help give cover when approaching a suspect or approaching a house, or just it's a shield that somebody would hold.
Theoretically, is a body bunker or ballistic shields practically used to assist officers in making a safe approach on an armed suspect?
Yes.
And this would be to protect officers by shielding them from any gunfire or threats that the suspect may potentially send downrange towards officers. Is that correct?
Yes.
You recall, did your patrol vehicle have a body bunker in it during this incident?
No, it didn't. I had taken one of the older patrol cars that night, and I knew it didn't have a body bunker. I had checked prior to shift.
Fast forward.
and coming in and go, I believe.
All right, we'll stop right here. So 0430 and 53 seconds here. Now, it appears you arrive on scene here, correct?
Yes.
Now, 0430 Zulu time would translate to 2130 hours Pacific Standard Time. So, as the CAD call indicates, you arrive on scene at 2141 hours. You actually physically arrive on scene, it looks like roughly around 2130 hours. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, based on your training experience, can you explain why that time discrepancy may exist?
Like I said earlier, based on the nature of the incident, it's an emergency type call. I probably didn't press the on scene button or verbalize on the radio that I was on scene, and so it didn't get marked on the CAD call by the dispatch until later, and when the dispatcher realized that I was on scene, and then that's when the dispatcher probably marked it on the call.
Charles, close by, we'll be checking 568.
What backyard you in?
Get that original, we need that original complainant, we need to get him in pocket.
Hey, I don't have a bunker, so we're just gonna have to go in and cover him.
Car in the driveway here.
Okay, 04:31, 17 seconds. Looks like you arrive on scene at 29th Street, come into the backyard. You make contact with the involved officers in the backyard and you advise them you don't have a bunker, so we're just going to have to go in and cuff him. Is that correct?
Correct.
Can you explain what that means, what you said?
Well, I was letting him know I didn't have a shield. I was aware that he hasn't moved since the call came out. The officer announced that on the radio, and we needed to get in and start rendering first aid as soon as possible to the subjects on the ground. I did want to get over and take a look at him before we move forward, though. But I was just letting them know I didn't have a body bunker right now, and I don't think we're going to have time to wait for it because we need to get in to give first aid to him.
Okay. So to this point here, to your knowledge at this point, a Sacramento police officer or officers had just been involved in a shooting. Is that correct?
Yes.
What?
Are you going to make route just in case?
04:31:22. Officer Robinette sounds like he asked you to get a non-lethal. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
What is a non-lethal?
So we get a pepper ball or a beanbag shotgun, and I think his idea was to hit the suspect on the ground with it to see if he was playing possum and was faking that he was injured. And again, I thought about that. I wanted to take a look for myself. My stress level wasn't as high as theirs. My adrenaline wasn't as pumping as much as theirs. So I wanted to kind of take in the scene before I made that decision to bring in less lethal. And so I took that in as a good suggestion, but I wanted to see for myself what I could see before moving forward with that idea.
Okay. Let me just back up a second.
Are you going to make route just in case?
What?
Are you going to make route?
So it sounds like Officer Robinette says let's hit him a couple times with that after he's referring to the non-lethal. Is that correct?
Yes.
And again, when I asked what that meant to you, you said non-lethal, you said pepper ball, you said beanbag shotgun, and you said with the potential, what he means by that is potentially shooting the suspect to see if he's playing possum.
Correct.
Does that basically mean, when you say playing possum, exactly what do you mean by that?
Like he's laying in wait for officers to get close to jump up and start shooting.
Okay.
Just in case. Just in case. Are you going to make route just in case? Just in case.
So 4:31:24 here, Officer Trujillo says, are you good with me grabbing it just in case he's... What is Officer Trujillo referring to at that time?
She was referring to go get the less lethal, and just in case we decided to use it, to see if he was lying in wait.
Can you hear what Officer Trujillo says there?
Something about can't tell something.
So, something in the effect, I just can't tell, I'll just grab it. Does that sound accurate? Like,
Yeah, I don't remember her saying that at the time, but that sounds.
What do you have on him?
and just before I go further here, did you direct Officer Trujillo to go retrieve what she was referring to?
I don't remember if I did or not. I
Okay.
don't think I did that on
And I think you kind of explained it. So, as explaining with a non-lethal or less lethal shotgun, can you explain again how that would be applied in this setting as Officer Robinette suggested?
Well, if he was lying in wait and we were to hit him with a less lethal munition, then he may move to show us that he's not incapacitated. He might actually be lying in wait. If somebody was hit with a less lethal, they most likely would move after feeling that impact.
I provide you with General Order 580.12, less lethal weapon system, revision date 10/9/2012. Would you please read aloud the highlighted portions?
It shall be the policy of the Sacramento Police Department to deploy and use less lethal weapon systems as instructed in department training in order to maximize safety of all individuals involved in an incident. Definitions: flexible baton round, beanbag, a less lethal 2 3/4 inch 12 gauge shotgun round fired in a Kevlar bag containing 40 grams of lead shot at a velocity of 280 feet per second. The drag stabilized projectile delivers 112 feet-pounds of energy on impact. Flexible baton rounds are discharged from a dedicated 12 gauge shotgun that is distinguished by an orange buttstock and foregrip. This round provides accurate and effective performance when fired from the approved distance of not less than 5 feet, but not more than 50 feet from the target. Deployment criteria: less lethal weapon systems shall only be used in a manner that is consistent with department policy and training guidelines. Officers shall not deploy a less lethal weapon system unless specific information reasonably indicates the potential for the system's use. The circumstances of each incident shall dictate the reasonableness for the deployment. Use of less lethal weapons. Use of a less lethal weapon system shall be consistent with General 580.02, use of force. Number 5, situations for use of the less lethal weapon system may include but are not limited to self-destructive, dangerous, and/or combative visuals, circumstances where a tactical advantage can be obtained. Tactical considerations. 1, if possible, a less lethal weapon system is to be utilized. A sufficient number of officers should be assembled to assist with the physical custody of the targeted subject. The number of additional officers and the responsibility shall be dictated by the dynamics of the incident. Unless extraordinary circumstances exist, consideration should be given to the following responsibilities: deploying officers, at least one officer to discharge less lethal weapon system. Multiple officers with less lethal weapon systems may be utilized in a single incident. The use of canine and the conducted energy device may also be appropriate and in concert with less lethal weapons.